is a little bit of a different feeling. This is News and Opinion with TJ. I am TJ Miner. Welcome to this new program that we are trying out. We're going to see how it goes. This is going to be for lack of better words, yes, Tyler, because I'm a huge Twister fan, and that's why. For lack of better words, this is going to be a working individual's opinion on different things that are coming up in our country today and what we're seeing in the state, what we're seeing in the country, how we're seeing different politics and things get handled. I've invited Sage to be a part of the show. I hope he joins in and helps out. We'll see what happens. I'm not well aware of what's going to happen or not. I've invited some listeners so far to be a part of it. I hope we get picked up, and I really hope that the show takes off. I'm sure that when Tyler's got time off and he's not being a wussy, that he'll join in and he'll be a part of it as well. And I'm sure that it'll grow and it'll turn into something that will be, it's going to be a different perspective. We have had a lot of things that have happened. There are things that have happened all over this nation that have set people off. There are things that have happened that drive people in Illinois crazy. There's things that happen that drive people in Texas crazy. There's things that happen that just want to drive you completely insane and you don't know what to do. This is also a call-in show, amazingly enough. Let me go ahead and put the listener line up so you guys can see it. We are going to take calls. Calls are not going to be refused just because of short time frame and content and everything else. This is about literally what the working person in this country sees, what they are dealing with, how they have to deal with it, and why. We currently have multiple different things that are going on, and I'm going to start tonight with probably the hardest thing to face and the hardest thing to hit and the one thing that nobody wants to see, and I'm going to hit it straight on tonight. We're going to start tonight with the rising rate of inflation, what it is doing to different people who are working and why and how, and getting down to brass tacks of how bad it really is. Now, depending on what part of the country you're in and why, we have different things going on with this inflation. The inflation started after the presidential election of 2020. There were way too many executive orders that were signed that shut a lot of things down that maybe or maybe not could be argued were good, bad, or indifferent for our economy. Good, bad, or indifferent for our environment. Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever the case may be. These things were in place and they were working and they were helping us, and they were, as an example, the Keystone Pipeline being one. It was such a battle to get that approved. And President Biden walked in on his first day and yanked every permit across the board and pulled the Keystone Pipeline from our people. Pulled it. Gone. No more Keystone Pipeline. That immediately caused a spike in our gasoline, our diesel. The way we get things around this country, it caused that spike, and it hurt us. And it hurt us badly. The inflation rate has been moving upward ever since, and it has been moving in a way to promote things that, although great in theory, wonderful ideas, we are not ready for them yet. We saw this once before, and the country didn't recognize it. Our Congress did not recognize this. Nothing was recognized with this. And that was when the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, was pushed through. The Affordable Care Act was stated as written. When it was done, it was not sustainable. Before anybody says anything about where I'm going with this, number one, I love the idea of health care for everyone. I really do. I don't think anyone should have to be sick. I don't think anyone should have to be hurting. I don't think anyone should have to go through the different medical conditions that are out there and be harmed based on a lack of insurance or a lack of coverage or a lack of anything. I firmly do believe in making sure that healthcare is available for everyone across the board. I love the idea, and it was from a very genuine place of heart. I have no doubts behind that, and I have no doubts that it was a wonderful idea fundamentally. Just like I have no doubts that I think higher education is a key to the success of this country. And I love the idea of affordable higher education all the way across the board. However, these things that are being harped on, the affordable health care, higher education, all of it, it costs money. They have to be paid for. Now, one of the things that I compare this to very quickly, and I bring up, and I state very openly and wholeheartedly, I would love all of this to happen. How do you do it within this country and make it happen revenue neutral? And if you can show me how to do that, revenue neutral, without putting a higher tax on somebody, I'm all for it. Great ideas. But the one thing they have not figured out is how to make it revenue neutral to the working class. And that's the key. That is the big key right there. To the working class. Our inflation started over things that were put into place by President Trump to help offset the burden on the working class. Now, let's get this straight too, before we get too far into it. Am I all for President Trump? No, I'm not. That guy has a gigantic mouth. And the one thing he never learned how to do was shut it. At all. If he would have shut up, there's a good chance he would have gotten that second term. He didn't know how to shut the, you know what, let's call it as we see it. He didn't know how to shut the fuck up. If President Trump would have learned how to do this magical thing called shut the fuck up, I honestly believe he would have seen a second term. He had to be outspoken. And what we're seeing out of him now, he is a very sore loser. There's no question about it. An extremely sore loser. Why? Because he thinks he's above and beyond and the big savior. And that's not the case. He's just a man. He's just an individual. I'm just an individual. You guys are just individuals. We have to face these things every day. And we fight like crazy for them. I am not the fan that you would think. I believe that we have a lot of things that are going wrong. We have a lot of things that are very difficult. And the only way to really make it work is to come together and find the middle ground. The inflation was started with shutting down things that were actually helping out our country. The second thing that occurred, and this is the more difficult one, number 2 is now we have the green energy bill. The new Green Deal is what it's called. Well, hi Becky. I'm glad you'll be back after the class you're taking. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. I'm just trying this out as a new shake. And we're going to see how it goes. I would love to see the show grow and take off. I'm looking to see what his announcement was today, what Trump's announcement. I don't have it yet, and that's what's kind of killing me. We had a lot of things that were working in our favor, and they were moving forward, and they were doing what they were supposed to do. And what hit us, what really creamed us, what got us, they were taken away. Now we're pushing the new Green Deal. We're pushing the energy bills. We're pushing all of this stuff now that's causing prices to go up. We are pushing technology at this time that has not been proven. As a matter of fact, it has been said that this technology will be great when it's ready, and it's not ready yet. We're not looking back at things that have been proven to work and trying to utilize those. And what the government has become, in all honesty, is a support program. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to go back and read your history. And not just the history of our beloved country. Read the history overseas. Something similar did occur in 1919. Krasny Oktyabr, Red October, 1919, 1919, the Bolshevik Revolution, the rise of communism. Great in theory, wonderful in theory. Would have been wonderful if it was practiced correctly. It wasn't. A select few had the money and the power and everything they needed from that country. And the Soviet Union was a world power. But it was a world power where the individual built for a select few. And individual families were standing in line for hours just for a half a loaf of molded black bread so they could feed their families, some potatoes, and a lot of vodka. Unfortunately, what people do not understand, this caused issues, and big ones. We were unable to see that coming. And it took a society from 1919 and put them into an impoverished state where they could barely survive until the 1990s. I visited Moscow in 1999. And even then, 10 years after the fall of the Berlin Wall, even then, the stigma of what it was about was still there. Everything was about the party. Everything was about the government. They lived in a place where they were not allowed to worship as they wanted to worship. Religion was outlawed. Being a Christian or a Baptist or a Muslim or whatever you chose to practice could have gotten you the death sentence. They would have killed you for it. You were not allowed to have children unless the government decided whether or not you could have a child. Think about that. You had to have the government's permission to have a family. You had so much that was insane. You'll have to bear with me as I'm trying to make a copy of this link. Oh my God. I wish I would have thought of this earlier. I really do. I'm sorry, everybody. I really wish I had thought of it. You know, these are the little things. These are the little things that get us every time. And you don't know what you're dealing with as a whole, you know? People were unaware of what they were really looking at and how they were dealing with it. And I got to give you guys an honest to God point. I had a brain fart. I seriously had a brain fart where I completely forgot what I needed to do to actually send this out. But we're going to get it there. I will remember some way. I will make it happen. Please share the link if you haven't yet, and please get the word out. We're going to do news and opinion, and we're going to give it a shot. We're going to see where we go with this. This may become a later evening but regular show. I haven't made a decision yet. I would love to have a co-host with it. Sage has the link, but I'm missing a Sage who would be great with this. We have watched an eruption. Special interest groups in the United States have gone to a position that their special interest supersedes the collective good of the United States. Now think about that. The special interest has superseded the collective good of the country as a whole. Okay. So that means, well, what do I mean by that? Well, this is pretty easy. I mean, when you look at that, you think about that for a second. The special interest. We will take LGBTQ is an example. Definitely a persecuted group. One of the most difficult groups of people as far as climbing out of the shadows. One of the most difficult to deal with. Prejudice still existing against them today. The United States is supposed to be the melting pot. We take everyone. We welcome them with open arms. There's a catch. I'll get to the catch in a minute. But everyone that's here, that's a citizen, you're welcome. You have a say. You are an individual. We love you for that. However, LGBTQ faces a persecution, and especially in the southern United States, that is not fair to who they are or why. They face this persecution not for anything that they have chosen, but strictly because of who they are. These are not choices for them. It's a part of their DNA. It's a part of their makeup. Our African American community, our Native American community, our Hispanic American community. Take any one of them, and every one of them will look up at you and they will say that their interests are more important and they need to be prioritized. However, we have a special interest group in this country that asks for very little. A lot of them are homeless. The disabled veteran. I personally, I don't talk about it very often, I personally am a disabled veteran. The reasons for it are unimportant, and there are multiples. I do draw a pension from the VA for it. However, we don't ask for that. We ask for the help to maintain ourselves so that we may still be beneficial to the country. And there are a lot of them that don't even ask for the help. And it causes things that are very difficult for anyone to really deal with or understand. See, to be a soldier or a Marine or an airman or a seaman or, well, a sailor or anything, it takes a lot to disconnect from what you were told when you were growing up and to allow yourself to be ripped to shreds. You're torn apart. After that tear down is done, though, this really amazing thing happens. You're built back up into something that you will be for the rest of your life. You are built back up into a member of the military and a member of the military community. It's amazing. I love that I am a soldier. And above and beyond that, I'm a military police officer. I was another step in. It's a different ball game now. And I got Sage joining me. What's going on, brother?
What's up?
We're trying something new.
Oh, I like new.
Yeah, we're going to try news and opinion.
Okay.
We're going to take different issues and we're going to break it down to the working individual's perspective, and we're going to talk shit about it.
Oh, I enjoy talking shit.
So I started tonight on the inflation problem and kind of got into the background. We lost the Keystone Pipeline. We lost so much after the election, and it started driving our prices up. Now we have a supply chain issue in the United States. It's difficult to get goods moved because small companies that were picking up the bulk that was not getting done, or an owner-operators, cannot afford to get out and run and get out and move those trucks to move the goods, which is driving our rates up in our stores. It's driving our rates up at our fuel pumps. It's driving our rates up everywhere across the board. And these policies are being put in place in the favor of the Green New Deal. And judging by that, you already have something to say.
Well, not so much. Yeah, a little bit. But, I mean, you're not wrong on that. And this Green New Deal is fucking...
a disaster?
Garbage. Yeah, disaster.
I think
not
it's
so much waiting to happen. It's already happening. You know, people always use that term. It's a disaster waiting to happen. No, it's a disaster happening.
It's already occurring.
It's already happening. And look at California already. They're like, all this good stuff that's going on in California. There's good things happening in California?
Well, look at San Francisco.
Going on in California.
Let's take a look at San Francisco for a minute. I mean, really look at San Francisco. San Francisco.
You fucking idiots banned straws.
I know. I mean, my God. San Francisco, at one point in time, was a tourist destination. It was a place that you wanted to go.
Uncle Ben's rice. Now we don't even have Uncle Ben, thanks.
Yeah, right? Now it's Uncle Briscoe.
Oh, Aunt Jemima, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for taking away Aunt Jemima. I used to like looking at Aunt Jemima when I was trying to eat. Like, wow, I wonder what Aunt Jemima looked like naked.
Huh.
Right? No more Aunt Jemima. And I'll tell you what, here's the thing with the current administration. I fully believe in the LGBTQ community, and I understand where they're coming from. And I get that all they want is their regular rights, and that's it. And then they'd be left alone and be treated equally, and that's all.
And I agree with them. That's fine.
But the way the current administration is blowing all of this up, Aunt Jemima is going to be Aunt Jerome soon.
Oh.
I mean, that's what we're looking at now. That's how bad it's blown up.
You want to put this on your pancakes?
That's where we're at.
I do. I really don't think I do anymore. Give me some of that Canadian maple syrup.
So, let's also look at some of the things that have been happening with the Green New Deal, courtesy of WICS News Channel 20 out of Springfield. Montgomery, Alabama. Just wait. You might enjoy this one. We have 4 companies right now that have developed solar energy facilities in Alabama, Idaho, and Illinois that are paying a $1.3 million fine for violating construction permits and rules for handling groundwater. solar
Did
farm.
they misuse it?
What is going on is they failed to take steps to control runoff water. And then sediment from the construction sites is now making its way into the waterways and contaminating the water.
Well, here in Illinois, most of our water was contaminated anyway. Look at Lake Sklepter or whatever it was called for how many years.
Leptospirosis?
Yeah,
that was it.
Yeah. Man, don't eat the fish. Don't do
Right?
anything. Don't jump in. You'll end up with a third arm.
American Falls will have to pay a civil penalty of $416,500 to the federal government alone. There is a solar site in Illinois that remains under construction, but they have to follow the rules to put this solar farm together. All right. These solar farms depend on batteries. Solar energy comes in, it gets stored in the batteries. Best case scenario you have is lead acid batteries. What is in a lead acid battery?
Acid.
Fucking acid. It's toxic. Chances are it's lithium ion. What is in a lithium ion battery?
Lithium. And where are they getting the lithium?
From mines. Oh, yeah.
Across seas. So, yeah.
You could have a nickel cadmium battery. Oh. Show me one thing in that's not toxic when it's been fried. I mean, one.
And what are they using to get all this out of the ground? What kind of machinery?
Diesel construction
equipment.
Earth movers. Diesel equipment. Oh, let's see. They're pushing the electric car. Oh, the electric car is the greatest thing. Look,
but what do you use to charge the batteries for your electric car?
Electricity.
Weird.
Oh, but how are we going to generate the electricity? We're going to generate electricity with wind and solar. What you're doing?
But you can only use so much of that before they shut it down for you not to be able to use.
What they're
putting
using
caps on that shit.
Let's just go back to full on. What they're using to store this energy is fucking toxic. It's nuclear fucking waste when it's done.
Yep. Y'all didn't read that fine print, did you?
I love to hunt. I mean, we've established this many times over. I love to hunt.
Yeah, you have a cantaloupe behind you.
I know, right? That joke's never going to die.
Never.
Here's the kicker to it, okay? The day I'm out hunting and I see a 3-headed fucking deer, I'm out of here.
No, you better get that motherfucker, and I want to see it mounted.
I'm not eating it.
For scientific purpose only.
I'm not going to eat it for scientific purpose.
No, I wouldn't suggest that whatsoever.
In
fact, I wouldn't even touch it without 3-ply rubber gloves.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I eat that motherfucker, here's what's going to happen. Everything that might be important to me on my body is going to fall off. That's my luck. It's just going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I'll wind up with no clutch leg, and I will not be happy.
Or you might end up with 3 more parts of everything.
That's true too.
The deer grew 2 extra heads, so I mean, fuck.
Right. I mean, in any case, but I'm not eating that son of a bitch.
Oh, but I would definitely get that motherfucker, if not cut the head off, and get the whole body mount and just be like, listen, it's real.
But you get what I'm saying. They're doing this, and from the working person's perspective, and me being an avid outdoorsman to boot, we're getting nothing. We're getting nowhere with this. So, what's the federal government's idea when they're seeing that it's crumbling apart right in front of them? What's the great idea they have? Let's double down and make it worse. CWLP as a great example. Okay? The city of Springfield spent millions, had to get a bond, spent millions building a state-of-the-art coal-burning facility that not only met, but exceeded every single local, state, and federal EPA standard out there. When that thing lets shit off, it's steam only. Nothing else. Springfield was told to shut it down. And to build a natural gas-fired plant. Or to convert over.
Because it was too cost effective.
Or to convert over to wind and solar. Well, 10 years ago, the city of Springfield did a solar farm. They paid the money and they put in a solar farm. It failed miserably. It could not generate enough electricity to sustain the city of Springfield. They looked at the option of wind. Wind did not have enough to sustain the city of Springfield. So they got the bond, they did what they needed to do, and they built a state-of-the-art coal-fired power plant that they have now been ordered by the state of Illinois and the wonderful, joyous J.B. Pritzker to shut it the fuck down and turn the motherfucker into a natural gas power plant. Kiss my dick.
And then they shut off the pipeline.
And they cut the pipeline.
And some overseas.
From out of the country, yeah. Now, the pipeline that they shut down mainly was crude oil. Some of it was natural gas, but it was mainly
crude oil. But yeah.
But the big pipeline they shut down, the Keystone Pipeline, that is what shot our diesel fuel and our gasoline prices through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was going...
Biden's second day in office or first day in office he did that?
Day one.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to do anything with that pipeline. I'm not going to touch it. Day one. Boom! Fuck your pipeline.
Cut us off.
Yep.
Trump went into Canada and beat Trudeau into submission to get that fucking pipeline. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised if it was WWE style. All right, motherfucker, you just took a table shot. We're getting our pipeline. And we got kicked in the nuts on it.
Fuck yeah, we did.
Now, here's the thing is, why did Canada, and it was actually Canada and Trudeau that really pushed for that, why did they push for it?
Why did they push for us to get it, or for
us
Biden
to
shut
agree with? Why did Trudeau agree and push for the pipeline to go through for us? What was the big reason?
Probably money.
More than money.
No, it wasn't it because he wanted to be able to do more imports.
He did. That was part of it. I'm trying to say,
he was wanting to get the import tax or whatever the hell.
He wanted the import tax reduced, which was a part of it. Here was the big one.
Yeah.
The crude oil is in the Yukon. Canada property, right?
Yep.
What's one thing Canada cannot do at a sustainable rate, but the United States can with that crude oil?
Refine it?
Exactly. The big reason Trudeau wanted that was the refineries that we have and our capabilities of refining it safely. Because the United States, when they started refining crude oil into gasoline, realized, oh, wait, we got this shit left over. We could turn that into diesel fuel.
Yeah. Ding. Ice Road Truckers is back on the air.
And I'd love watching every minute of it. This is what we're seeing out of our government. And then you have, now you do have places in the country that are turning around and they're saying, oh, wait a minute. Okay. You want us to take what works and is affordable for our state, and you want us to kick our state in the nuts and do what you want. Okay. And they just reel out that finger. Done. It is a gigantic fuck you. Okay, we can go with this. Texas. State of Texas, great example. Okay? The state of Texas said, we're not shutting down our coal-fired plants. You show us something that's going to be cost-effective, revenue neutral for our citizens of our state, and safe for our environment. We'll do it. What is still running the power grid in Texas?
Coal-fired plants.
Fucking coal!
The thing is, around here, Pritzker gets what Pritzker wants.
Well, around here, Pritzker is tied in with the unions, the special interest lobbyists, and everything that really pretty much paid for him to have Chicago to get back into office. And that was it.
Well, he's one of those Democrats. What can you say?
And, you know, I was talking to Will Hyder about this earlier today. You take a look at Chicago as a whole. And this is hard for me to say. I am a gigantic Cubs fan. We all know this. I am a huge Blackhawk hockey fan. We all know this. I am football loyalty divided between the Bears and the Broncos.
Okay.
Fuck the Packers. But I'm honest about it.
Damn.
And basketball, believe it or not, I go to Detroit. I'm a Pistons fan. Because I like the early 90s and I miss the bad boys.
Yeah, the Pistons back in the day.
Back in the day, they were ruthless. They may not get you on the court, but they're going
to especially back when they had Rodman, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Rodman and Grant and all of them.
Grant, yeah, before Rodman and Grant both went to the Bulls.
Yep. They had a motto. You may get us on the court, but we're going to take your ass in the parking lot. And I loved it. They played ruthless ball.
See, I was a big Pacers fan back in the day.
I could see that.
I loved the way Reggie played.
Yeah, absolutely. Gotta love the Indiana Pacers. I mean, they were a lot of fun. But no, I mean, when you look back at this, you look at all of it. You look across the board and you see it. I made this comment the other day, and I'm going to stand by it and now defend it. And that was, it was really after W that I started to see the major declination of our country as a whole. We had our problems under George W. Bush. We really did. But they were tolerable. Jobs were still plentiful. The minimum wage was not so far through the roof that you could not afford to go to McDonald's. Now, I mean, with any Bush, all you have to do is say, oil there. And what did he do? War!
Yep.
But, I mean, they're oil people. So, of course, they want to kick everybody's ass and get the oil. Can't blame him for how he was raised or what he believed in. Oil, war.
Oh, they got oil over there. All right. It's mine.
I'm going to come over there and I'm going to take your oil. Gobble, gobble. And I mean, but that was Bush. I mean, 9/11 happened. That man sat there and he pulled this country back together.
Yeah, but I think that man
forget whatever fucking conspiracy theory is out there on the cause. I don't care. I don't care. It happened. The country was a wreck. And he pulled it back together and said, look, we got to do this. And the country got focused and it drew us together.
Get off my cord.
It was a shit thing, but it drew us together. Here comes Obama.
Yeah.
Okay, so at the end of the Bush presidency and during the transition into the Obama administration, we had the economic crash of 2008. Now, all of us know what caused that. What caused that was active lending practices and giving homes to people that could not fucking afford them. That was the cause of the crash. And as the market started to take a shit, everybody dumped on it. Fear was the second reason for the crash. Okay. So we get through all of that, right?
Yep.
President Obama comes into office. There weren't a million executive orders right out of the gate canceling everything. I got to give him credit. He sat back. He evaluated the situation. And I truly believe that he did what his heart told him was the best thing to do.
Sit down and keep your mouth shut.
No, he did not.
Nope, they did.
His choice, historically, and this is again coming from the perspective of someone who worked in that industry at the time, because the auto manufacturers, the big three, took a massive dump.
Yep.
President Obama came up with the plan for the bailout of the auto industry. Included in that was a little known, seldom talked about, and very barely remembered program called Cash for Clunkers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Okay. Cash for Clunkers People could take in a gas guzzling vehicle and trade it in for a fuel efficient vehicle, and they had a guaranteed $4,500 stipend from the government for that trade in. Now, there were some people that did it very smart, and they went and picked the oldest, shittiest, barely running, gas guzzling piece of shit they had, and they towed that motherfucker to the goddamn car dealership, and they traded it in for something like a Civic or a Hyundai Elantra or a Ford Focus. You know, the Chevy Cobalt at the time, the Pontiac G6, the Pontiac G6, they went for these fuel efficient cars. However, a lot of these people that had those old gas guzzling hunks of clunk, they couldn't afford to trade them in and get a payment. And they didn't have the credit to get financed to do it. So no matter what the government was going to give them, we had to turn a lot of them away. Yet, there was a lady that came in to the dealer. This is one, as an example. This is the most extravagant one I could think of. And it's definitely on the high end of this extravagancy. But you get the picture. She pulled in a Mercedes-Benz SUV, 1 year old and paid off with 15,000 miles on it. Would not take our trade value for that thing. Wanted cash for clunkers. Traded it on cash for clunkers for a Ford Fusion hybrid.
What?
Here was the trick to that. We were forced into doing that. She paid cash for the difference.
There was a difference?
There was a difference, yes.
How could there be a difference?
As a cash for clunkers vehicle, all we could offer on it was $4,500. We showed her
that Ford Focus was more expensive than $4,500.
We could only give her $4,500 for that Mercedes SUV as a cash for clunkers vehicle. That was the way it was written. We showed her on paper she could do the same trade as a regular deal, and we would give her money and could take that Fusion hybrid home. Same deal. No. I'm doing what I need to do to bail out the auto industry. I want it cash for clunkers. Here's what nobody knew. We ended up doing the deal that way because we had to. We took that Mercedes SUV that was valued at $42,000, drove it into the shop. We filled the engine with liquid glass. We blew the engine on it, and it was hauled out on a government car transport and crushed.
Man, that's sad.
We could have taken that and put that on our used car lot, made a killing on it, gave her even across the board trade, and let her leave with that Fusion hybrid. And sold it and came out ahead. The people who were pulling in the vehicles that they were trying to get rid of couldn't afford one. And the people that pulled in and took advantage of it, we had late model Chevy pickups. We had late model Ford pickups. We had late model Dodge pickups. We had late model, and I'm talking, this was 09. We had 02 to 07 vehicles under 100,000 miles where they were trading for this. And we couldn't do anything. We had to blow them up and send them out on that transport. What Cash for Clunkers really did is it removed a lot of very viable used cars from the market. It hurt the automotive industry in the long run because they were relying on new car sales. And a car dealership don't make its money on new car sales. They make it on used. And it took the average price of the used car and increased its value by 245%. So if it was before Cash for Clunkers, a $500 beater with a heater, it was a $2,000 car at the end of it.
That's ridiculous.
This was the genius of our government at work. Fast forward to today, look at the new Green Deal or Green New Deal or whatever the fuck it's called, and you see the exact same thing happening right before our eyes. We're going to do all this great stuff for the environment, but the one thing it's doing is it's overtaxing our working class to the point that now we have families that are out there and they're looking at their electric bill and they're trying to decide, do I pay the power bill or do I buy groceries for my family?
Nobody should have to decide that.
I am an individual that looks at the big picture and I think about it. We can go all the way back to the late 80s, early 90s, and this magical thing that they think is the greatest thing since sliced bread called deficit spending. What is deficit spending, Sage?
You're asking the wrong guy there.
Deficit spending is, yes, we're in debt. We're going to spend our way out of debt.
Yeah, okay, yeah, that's where I thought you were going with it, and but
deficit spending.
But yeah, it's been proven time and time again that it doesn't work.
I am going to sit back and say this once again. And I really hope that a friend of mine who is the manager of one of my favorite bars, the Twisted Spoke Saloon in Pekin, Illinois, little cheap plug. I really hope she's paying attention to this. Because if I believe in deficit spending, then I want to come in and deficit spend my bar tab. I want to see if it works. Like, if the more I drink, that's the less I have to pay at the end of the night, I'm in.
No shit. I
will be.
No, I don't have any open bar tabs.
I don't have any open bar tabs right now either. And I'll guarantee you, if she's watching,
but if I did,
that'd be great. I want to drink my way out of that bar tab.
Challenge accepted.
Right? It works so well that the Illinois State Capitol building went over 2 years before paying their bill to CWLP.
Didn't their lights get shut off like one Christmas or some shit?
Yes, they did.
And then they got
That
turned
was
back
when
on.
they finally paid the bill.
And they had
It
all their
was-
lights up, and then CWLP was all like, "Not today, bitches."
Yeah, pretty much. CWLP shut them the fuck down and said, we're done.
That was great.
You are not going to overtax the city of Springfield by not paying for your power. We're not passing it on to everybody else. Pay your fucking bill.
And they just
Madigan
put up
was-
this really awesome Christmas display, and CWLP said,
And then CWLP goes,
"Good
dunk, you're done. It was amazing.
day." It was the perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if the crew got paid for putting all those up just to watch them go out.
Oh, I hope so. You know,
I hope they got paid for it.
You know, here's what I think that was. That was the city of Springfield and City Water, Light, and Power walking in, looking up and going, hey, Michael Madigan, eat a bag of dicks. Shut it down.
Yep.
It was amazing. And then they were finally told, pay the fucking bill. And they paid the bill. And oh man, lights were back on the next day.
Yeah. We gotta have our Christmas display. Pay your bill. We'll flip that switch.
The rest
right
of the
back.
people in the world had to pay the bill. You pay the bill. But that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with governments, local, county, state, federal. These governments all believe that they're above the law. Now, I live in a very impoverished county. I live in Mason County. Mason County is cheap. We are fucking cheap.
You guys can't even afford to pay attention there.
I'll give you an example. Mason County has a line item in the budget that is approved every year for salt for our roadways. It is a low number.
I would imagine so. How many roads you got in your little town?
No, this county ain't as little as you think.
Are you talking the whole county? Okay.
I'm talking the whole county. And actually, where I live at falls under county.
Yeah.
So the county, they have a low number for their allotment for salt. And they stockpile it. They buy it throughout the year and they stock it.
Makes sense.
They will not buy it in the winter.
Oh, hell no. Prices go up.
Exactly. Absolute no. And when they run out, done. The end. Okay? They will not spend another dime on salt. Now, what do we have plenty of in Mason County? Sand. They will load up on sand. They'll load up on sand and cinder, which you could get for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah.
And when they run out of salt, it's off to sand and cinder. That's it.
Yeah, sand and cinder into the fucking ditch.
Right. But and what when that was brought up as a safety concern to the county board in Mason County goes, okay, we'll see that. We see you got a problem there. So what did they do? They increased funding into driver's ed to teach people how to drive in this shit. Instead of spending more on salt every year, Mason County did a one-time investment into driving simulators for each of the high schools to go, here, you little shits, learn how to drive in it.
Wow.
They pay maybe $500 every 3 years for a software update for the simulators to teach the kids how to safely drive in it.
That's fucked.
Is it?
That's fucked.
Really?
Well, I mean, yeah, because there's no real experience unless you're on the fucking road.
And they put them on the road in it too. I saw more driver's ed cars out today than I've seen the last 6 months. Just because there was snow.
So far, we ain't had any of that here.
We had about a half an inch up here today. But this
and my kid's about to get his permit.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't teach him how to drive in that Chevy of yours.
Nah, it's got too much power.
Exactly.
Motherfucker would be ditched, and I'd be like, all right, switch your seats. I'm going to show you how to get out this real quick.
Rump! And there it is. But, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Mesa County instead looked at the situation, said, well, we can increase our salt budget by $10,000 a year, which is going to cause us to raise our property taxes and spread that out throughout the county, or we could spend the money one time and get the experience into our kids to learn how to drive in the fucking shit. And they're like, let's teach the kids how to drive. It's the same thing with all these goddamn gun laws.
They should probably send some of the adults back into that school too and let them play on that.
I'm not disagreeing. Some of the adults I've seen drive, I'm not disagreeing. Send them back and let them go through the course.
Yeah. Some of the adults I know need to go through driver's ed all over again.
It's the same thing with all of these gun laws all over the nation. Let's look at this for a second. Sage, when you and I were in school, and I mean me being an avid hunter, I would go to school with a gun in the back window of the truck.
Yeah. Different times, my friend, different times.
And it was loaded. I would get out of the truck in camo. I'm covered in blood. And I would go to school.
Yeah, I don't think that's a lot anymore.
Now, and on the way in, by the way, I'd flip a fucking Marlboro right down the parking lot.
Yeah, definitely not a lot anymore.
Now, if
I don't think kids nowadays can even have a gun rack in their truck.
If a kid pulls in the truck with a gun rack, not even a gun, the gun rack, gets out in camo, covered in blood, the deer could be in the bed of the truck and flips a Marlboro, that kid's going to see county time.
Or at least get expelled from school or suspended.
No, they're going to jail. I mean, that quick. Jail.
Maybe.
Okay. Well, let's rewind a little bit. I was my son's age. I was 10 years old. And I learned firearm safety. I learned how to clean it, maintain it, be safe with it, fire it. I was taught this at a young age. Now, were the guns in the house, in an unlocked gun rack loaded? No. They were kept under lock and key, and the ammunition was in a separate locker.
That's smart.
Okay?
Ish.
And God help anybody that tried to get in there to get those guns. But they were locked
you
up.
always got to have the one.
Uh-huh.
You always got to have that one that's ready.
They were locked up. The ammunition was locked up separately. And we were taught at a young age, hey, guess what? This thing has one purpose in its design. It's designed to kill shit. You put this fucker up to your shoulder with a round in the chamber, and it is locked, cocked, and ready to rock. You better be ready to kill what's on the other side of it, because that's what it's designed for.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
And if we were caught fucking around with them, we got our asses kicked. Not by the cops, not by the government, not by anything else. It was our parents that beat our fucking ass.
Parents or grandparents, whichever one caught you.
Whichever one caught you first. And God help you if all of them caught you at once. Ow. Because then they took turns smacking the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't have magazines with too much ammunition. It's not the fucking ammunition. It's not the weapon. It's the fucking nut behind the trigger.
That ain't no shit.
We were educated on what we had to know to handle that weapon safely. And we knew at a young age, it's a weapon. Our federal government, in its infinite wisdom, oh no, there's another mass shooting. Take away more. The purpose of the Second Amendment is to protect the country. Yeah, let's take away more. So when China shows up, all we could do is hit them with empty beer bottles. Great idea.
Our federal government is clueless, period.
Our federal government is operating under guidelines that were written well over 200 years ago. That, although functional, need to be reevaluated for the current times. And not voted upon by a bunch of crusty old bastards who have made their livings off of my back. But by us.
They should not be infringed upon either.
No. Here, I will read. I'm going to bring it up here, and I'm going to read the Second Amendment as it was written. And we're going to go.
You're a time traveler too?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Infinite wisdom. Let's see. Tyler's saying something. Infinite wisdom. Tyler, in case you haven't heard of it, it's this new thing called sarcasm. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed.
9mm knocks your lungs out of your body? Whoa.
I would love to see the 9mm that's going to do that because I have yet to see it. Now, when I was in the service, I responded. This is something that happened overseas. I responded to a call that was a domestic disturbance. Now, as everybody knows, I was military police. I showed up, and actually, there's two stories that are domestics that are kind of related to this. One of them is funny, but not, and the other one is not at all. We'll start with the not at all. We got there, checked on the wife. She had shit knocked out of her. It was bad. Where did he go? He just took off. Did he have anything? Yes, he had a loaded handgun. Okay. So we go out, we start looking for him. We found out later he was on cocaine.
Oh.
I could tell you from personal experience. He took a pot shot at us. That automatically moved us to deadly force is authorized. We both drew down, and we both aimed center mass, and we both emptied, each of us, 15-round magazines, a 9mm in this guy. He was still coming at us. 9mm will penetrate. 9mm will penetrate anything. It does not have the stopping power. Now, they got him put back together enough that he lived through 30 rounds of 9mm. I'm still trying to figure that one out.
Somebody missed.
Yeah, I think it was him. And I'll back that one up because when we went to the range, he barely qualified marksman, and I hit expert, so... And it was dark.
30 rounds in that guy.
It was dark. I mean, we were in woods, and it was fucking dark. And all we were doing was aiming at where the muzzle flash came from. Because we didn't really have a target, but we were trying to protect ourselves and keep ourselves alive. And then we got him medevaced over the hospital and everything. You know, long story short, he did survive it. Now, is he walking around real well today? No. Is he having trouble breathing?
I would imagine that.
Yes, he really is. He breathes like a guy who smoked 4 packs a day for 80 years. I mean, he don't breathe too well. But the 9mm is unable to do that.
Speeds for lungs.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, the other domestic, and this proves a point here. The 9mm, I don't care what they say. It ain't as powerful as they think.
No.
You don't need a gun to cause damage. The other domestic, as we showed up, and I think, Sage, I think you've heard me tell this story before. We arrived on the scene. And the husband who called us is sitting outside. Now, he's the military member. He's sitting outside. And he's green. You all right, soldier? I mean, my God, look, you're not looking too good. And he goes, and he lifts his arm. Lift up his right arm. The hilt of the knife and the handle was all we could see of that butcher knife. His wife stuck it in him. We need medical down here now. We went up and opened the door, and she started throwing Chinese throwing stars at us. Talk screen later showed us she was on an acid trip. And it must not have been a good one.
No.
These are still things that could have killed us. That was lie to the room, and by that point, I was already cleared to carry a 45. I go, oh, really? Okay. Boom! She dropped to the floor and did not move.
No, 45's got some pretty good stopping power.
These are things that you look at. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed upon by the federal government. Now, here's where they're finding their loophole. Doesn't say what kind of arms. It does not say what kind of ammunition. It does not say how much ammunition. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Oh, they got their little loophole.
Yeah, but who are they to determine what type of arms?
They're not.
But
they're making
exactly.
they're making that determination, using it as a loophole, rather than looking at it and going, wait a damn minute here. Why are we doing this? Now, what could help? What would be a great solution? Education. Educate our youth. This is what you're messing with. This is what it's capable of. And then parents should be parents.
You
know, this is something I firmly believe in. And I think, have you seen the movie Head of State with Chris Rock?
Yeah.
Okay. So when he was
been a while, but yeah.
It's been a long time. But when he was at the end of the movie, he said he didn't smoke. Not because he was afraid of getting cancer, but he was afraid that his dad was going to catch him and come back from the dead and knock him the fuck out. And he goes, knock out your kids. It helps. It's funny how he did it, and you see the joke behind it, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't start fights anymore with people. Unless they really deserve it. But I don't.
I try not to.
I don't physically walk up and belt somebody for no reason.
Oh, there's a couple I'd love to.
There's plenty that I would love to. I will verbally drag you into a fight using my brain and my words. I'm good at that. I'll egg it on. The minute you swing at me, it's on. But I will not raise the hand first. There's a fucking reason. It's because if I raised the hand first when I was a kid, my dad would have knocked me out. I'm not worried about raising my hand to somebody and getting in the fight because I might get my ass kicked. I'm worried about my dad coming out and knocking me the fuck out for starting it. So yes, it does work.
No, I don't fight because I know what I'm capable of.
We as a society have ripped the rights of parents out of their hands and taken away their ability to be parents.
Don't look at us. You said we. It wasn't me. That's the government. That's DCFS.
Okay, DCFS. But we as a whole. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying me. the elected body, elected by the people, has made these decisions. Now, I don't vote for people that don't represent my interests. And I research them. But you have 40% on one side and 40% on the other that vote down the party line, and that's it. That's all they do.
Mm-hmm.
And then whatever the party tells them is correct, that's what they vote for. Because the party says it's okay. That's what we're supposed to do. Got a news flash. Fuck your party.
Especially if it's wrong.
Doesn't matter. There are things. I don't have a party anymore. I am an independent. I am registered as an independent. Here's why. There are things that the Republican Party hammers on that I completely disagree with. There are a lot of things that the Democrat Party hammers on that I completely disagree with. My elected officials are charged with three things. That's it. In my eyes, you have three things to do. If you are an elected official for me, your priority number one is to get our budget back under fucking control.
Seems legit.
And to do it in a way that's not going to rip me so far out of retirement that the day I'm going to be able to retire fully is 9 months after I'm dead. Restore.
And before pension runs out.
Restore our financial independence.
Oh, that's a big one.
Because I believe in this. You are unable to serve two masters. And as long as we are serving that
and with
debt,
me already being one of yours.
as long as we are serving that debt, as long as our government is serving that debt, they are not serving what they are really there for, and that is the people that fucking elected them in the first place. Number two, restore our national security. That means subsection 1, close the fucking borders. Borders, north and south. Shut them down.
Oh, what about our Canadian friends?
Shut them down because that's where the cold air comes from.
I'll never see Katie that way. Where am I supposed to get my puppers? Where am I supposed to get my puppers?
Bring in everybody from Letterkenny and then shut that motherfucker down. Make him put Letterkenny in Minnesota.
Ooh, fuck Minnesota. Make Minnesota go to Canada.
North Dakota.
I can handle North Dakota. Yeah, North Dakota's good. Fuck Minnesota. It can go to Canada.
Close down both borders. Build up our military. Get it back to a sustainable level to protect our interests. Now, how do you close the borders and keep it revenue neutral? Oh, gee, I've had this thought a few times. I brought it up a few times. Pull all of our assets from overseas, get them out of places they don't need to be. That is not our problem. Get them here, put them on the borders, put them in the oceans, guarding our interests. And then the minute somebody wants to fuck with us, wax them. and then into the proverbial colon they can go.
Speaking of which, did you see the other day fucking Beetlejuice up there in Chicago throwing a big old fit?
Well, about what
Because,
now?
she's got that, Chicago, how it's supposed to be, what you call it, a safe space or whatever the hell for.
Oh, a sanctuary city?
Yeah, sanctuary city. And
Uh-huh.
then dude from Texas sent a whole bus up there for her. She's all like,
What?
"This is not what I was talking about. You just
No,
dumped all
no,
these
no,
on
no,
me."
no, no. You misread that. Let me fill you in on what's really going on there. Governor Abbott decided that,
Yeah, Abbott, yeah.
yes, Governor Abbott. Now, I'm going to be a Texas resident soon, so to me, that's home. And he decided that we do not need the illegal aliens in our state. End of discussion. Now, of course, we're not getting any help from that. So Governor Abbott didn't charter one that went to Chicago. More like 100 that were loaded that he sent to Chicago. He sent them to D.C. 50 of them unloaded right there at the Naval Observatory, the vice president's home. The D.C. residency. Dumped them right there. Sent them to San Francisco, Los Angeles, all these places that are sanctuary cities. Out of our state they went.
That's awesome. I just heard about the one that Lightfoot was throwing a fit about.
It was not
I haven't
one.
heard anything
It
else
was
about the other ones.
100 that he loaded and sent to Chicago. Do not stop for anything but fuel and food and roll.
That is hilarious.
And they didn't.
She threw
until
a fit
they got
about
to
what,
Chicago.
like 80 people that got dropped off in Chicago?
It wasn't 80.
I think it was only 80
No,
people.
it was like 1,000 that he dumped up there.
Oh, that's hilarious. You said
And-
you were Sanctuary City. There you go.
Now, she may be throwing a fit about the one that he ordered to deliver to her residence. And they did. They pulled right up and unloaded them at her house.
That's fucking hilarious.
Greg Abbott ain't fucking around. He's sending a statement.
That's hilarious. That, and I just read earlier today that a rocket was fired by Russia.
I haven't heard
And
anything about
landed
that
and
yet.
killed-
Fill me in.
Rocket was fired by Russia and landed somewhere, killing 2 people. I can't remember where it was. Went across the border somewhere and killed 2 people.
Our direction?
And like, not our direction. No, over there. And it crossed some border and it killed 2 people. And now somebody posted, "Oh, this is going to be an act of war and somebody's going to have to get into it." And they're all like, "Oh my God, this is going to be World War III."
Was it into China?
Wasn't into China. It was I don't think it was even into Ukraine. I can't remember
Oh,
who posted
wow.
that.
So it was a baby one.
Yeah, because it only ended up killing like 2 people, I think.
But I mean, you get the idea. This is part of where we're at. This is part of what we're seeing. And then you've got so many people here. Oh God, this runs me ragged nuts. Oh, number 3 on my list. The third one, and probably the most important.
It went into Poland.
Oh shit. That
Russian
ain't
missile
good.
crossed into Poland and killed 2. And they said that means NATO has to respond.
Yes, it does. Because Poland is now a part of NATO.
So
Now, here's
they
the
said hashtag World War III.
Here is the third one, and probably the most important one out of the whole bunch. So we've gone over, get our national security under control, get our finances under control. Number 3, get the fuck out of my house.
I'm not in your house.
No, I'm
I'm in
saying
mine.
to the federal government, to the state government, the county government, the city government, get the fuck out of my house. Get the fuck out of my business.
Oh. Yeah, I
You
get
know
that.
what? And I'm going to word it like this. If I'm in here in a threesome with John Elway and Pamela Anderson, it's none of your fucking business. Get the fuck out.
Interesting choice of people.
I just took 2 randoms and used them.
I mean, well, shit.
I'm just saying.
Broncos
It doesn't
touchdown.
matter. It doesn't matter. Get out of... Stop trying to focus education around your special interests and teach what's actually fucking there. Get the fuck out of my education. I got something today. That pissed me off. This pissed me the fuck off. I got it today. From, what is it? The Sangamon Sun. I'm going to zoom in on this if I can. Damn. But the headline says, no more boys and girls. Pritzker family looks... Pritzker family leads push to replace myth of biology.
Biology is a myth now?
Evidently, it is a myth now. In this is showing it's digging into...
I think that might be because JB hasn't seen his own wiener in so long.
Pritzker State Superintendent Carmen has been replacing classics read by parents with white male authors with new titles written by LGBTQ. Okay, fine. Whatever. You know, this is something that does need to be taught. I get that. But the pictures are, it's comic books.
Maybe.
Well, here, I'm going to...
Not shoved down their throats.
Dude, I'm going to forward this one to you.
Figuratively.
And it's going to... All right, you should be getting it any minute now. Dude, when you look at this one that I'm looking at, it's...
Whoa.
Yes, this is what they're trying to teach our middle schoolers. They're trying to show this shit to my kids my son's age.
So apparently in these books it's okay to give BJs?
Yeah, well, look at the other picture.
And
there's
okay
Dad that looks like a logger wearing a skirt.
He's like in this giant ass tutu prancing around with a boy.
Yeah.
Fewer classics, more genderqueer.
Yeah.
New Illinois K through 12 library books.
Yeah.
My shadow is pink.
Now you get it.
Okay, no. That's
no, we're way over the line here.
Yeah, that's over the line.
I agree that
teaching them is one thing, but don't get me wrong by saying this after what I just said a little bit ago. Shoving it down their throat, that's a whole new situation.
That's a whole different ballgame. Look, you're talking to kids. I
don't even know. Can I show this on here?
Well, it is YouTube. You know what? Let me share it. I'll share the one I was talking about to everybody. This is insane to me.
I mean, everything is blocked out, so where you can't. really
Right,
see
it is.
But I
This
mean,
is
this is
absolutely fucking insane to me. This is, to me, of all people, to me, this is unbelievable.
that's going too far.
All right, there you go, folks. You see what we're talking about now. You've got
This is going a little too far.
this is above and beyond. All right, the top picture here, and then you got the top picture up here. But this is what really set me off.
And they want to do that in schools. Gender New Illinois K through 12. Kindergarten through 12. And they think this is appropriate for kids.
This is far from appropriate. Far from appropriate. Okay, look, everyone.
You see, like me and my mom, we're both registered through the state through DCFS.
Okay.
And whenever I go in, I'm going to show my mom this picture and be like, "Look, this is what Pritzker wants to introduce K through 12 students to Illinois." And whenever she sees it, she's going to fucking flip a wig.
Dude, that top one looks pedophilic.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Go follow
and then
a
the
man
bottom
through the woods
one
wearing
is
a
like,
fucking
hey.
skirt.
And then the bottom one is like, oh.
That's past borderline anything. That's
right.
Ultra suggestive, if you will. That does
I'm going,
not.
okay, look, and again. I go back and I say, look, I am 100% behind LGBTQ. They have been persecuted long enough. I understand that.
And I fully support them.
And
but
should be able to live whatever life they feel like they need to live to be happy with who they are. That's fine. Don't shove it down my kids' throats.
Yeah, that's too fucking far.
They should be allowed to they should not be in there in school.
That fucking young.
My 10-year-old should not go into school and learn about a blowjob.
No.
He should be cutting open a frog. And learning about what's inside of it that makes it work. I mean, this is insane.
This tells me a lot more about J.B. Pritzker and what kind of a man he really is.
And Joe Biden.
The man screams pedophilia. Are you sure that he didn't visit that island too?
Not really.
I mean,
the island of relevancy.
He's a billionaire. What's not to say there ain't somebody? Yeah. I wonder who hangs his Christmas lights. I bet they don't hang themselves.
Paul Heyman.
I'm gonna ask you.
I mean, that would be that's two walruses under a sheet. This is beyond unbelievable to me. I know people.
What was that?
I know people who are transitioning, they're transgender. I know people who are gay. I know people lesbian. I know people all the way across the spectrum. And I don't have a problem with any of them as people. I don't. What I do have a problem with is taking something like this, introducing it to our children, and thinking it's okay.
It's not okay. It's far from okay.
All right, let's start here. You should be taught kindergarten through whatever. Everybody is a person. Treat them like people. No matter what, treat them like people. And number 2, raise your hand if you piss your pants.
I pissed my pants because peeing's cool. Well, if peeing's cool, consider me Miles Davis.
Oh, yeah, and here, like Tyler says, they're trying to get pedophiles to be accepted in society by calling them minor attracted people.
What the fuck?
Yeah. That's the next move. All right, I'm going to use
Oh,
a
hell
mayhem.
no.
I'm going to use a mayhem joke right now. I am no longer going to, on Mayhem, going to call Tyler a chicken fucker. I'm going to call him a poultry attracted person, just to see if it's more acceptable. Maybe I'll stop calling Fat 420 a waffle stomper. I will call him a turd removal specialist. Maybe that'll be more acceptable.
I'm pretty sure Waffle Stopper does pretty good.
I'll stop calling Amanda Kluge a Wookiee lover. She'll be a Wookiee attracted person.
You better refer to me as a chicken fucker.
But you get the idea. We make jokes about this shit on Mayhem. And this is what this wacko's trying to push through. Which brings me to around to
what? I squeeze a chicken and you come running?
It brings me around to a very gigantic point. Our elected officials no longer represent us. We, the American people. What the fuck, Lucifer? He's going after your fucking cord again. They no longer represent us as the American people. They represent big money lobbyists, their party, and whoever is going to pay for them to be reelected so they can continue their career in politics, which is not what was supposed to be done according to the Constitution. Come in, do your time, serve the people, and get the fuck out.
Do you hear that? Get the fuck out.
There's what's going on.
You're absolutely right.
And am I a little wound up about it? Yeah. Because I watch it. I see it. I know what's going on. I'm looking at this and going, my kid, my 10-year-old is going to walk into class next year at 11 and get told it's better to get a blowjob from a guy than a girl. You should try it.
No. There'd be fucking glory holes in all the stalls.
Now, I know a couple of guys that are bisexual. And one of them did tell me that, yes, getting a blowjob from a guy for him was better. And I finally looked up, and he just kept saying it and saying it and saying it. I finally looked, and I said, why? He goes, because every girl I've ever gotten a blowjob from does not realize the big thing that every guy I've gotten a blowjob realizes right away. I said, what's that? He goes, teeth are not required. You know what? This is a valid point. Now that's
Then
just
you tell them it's an easy fix.
or you find one without teeth. Get a gummer.
Nope. No gummers.
Could be a Hummer gummer.
Mm-mm. Nope.
But you get what I'm saying. Is there, it's little shit like that that's really fucking us up. This shit right here shouldn't even be getting brought up.
Yeah, we should not have to have this kind of a discussion.
No. And yet it's become a mainstay. You have people on both sides of the aisle that are blowing this completely out of proportion. You look at the right side of the aisle, they're trying to ban everything. Look at the left side of the aisle, and they're trying to overrule it all.
But the right side ain't banning the right shit.
No, they're not.
They need to look at what's going on here on the left and say, hey, whoa, what are you trying to do to our kids?
Right. Here's my thing. Kids are going to discover who they are as they grow older.
Yes, that's a natural course.
Right. So, I mean, if my son was to show up tomorrow, look at me and say, Dad, I'm gay. Okay. Are you happy? Yeah. Cool. We're good.
Yeah.
You're my kid. I love you. We're good. The end.
I keep hoping my kid turns out gay, so I ain't got to be a grandpa.
If my daughter, let me quantify this a little bit. My daughter's done some stupid shit. My daughter has done some seriously stupid shit. My daughter at one point in time thought that she was totally in love because she was in a throuple.
A throuple.
A throuple. Do you know what a throuple is?
I don't know that I've heard that terminology before.
Okay.
Is that a couple?
A couple with a third.
3 people?
Yes. They're a throuple.
Not just a threesome? A 3?
Like full on.
A couple plus one?
You'd think that too, but no, it is full on. They are all actively involved in the one relationship.
That's fucked up.
Wait a minute. So you're all going to live in the same house?
Never quite.
I was like, and you're all going to share the same. And you're all going to share the same bed? Uh-huh. And I go, how the fuck is that going to work?
That's not going to end well.
Well, she's out of the throuple. They've added another one.
Oh, now it's a fourful?
No, she's out. They put another one in her place.
Oh.
So it's still a throuple.
Oh.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And I'm going, you know what? I have one girlfriend. I am very much in love with my one girlfriend. The only one I need is the one girlfriend. And if by some strange reason...
I've been single for like 7 years, and it works.
And if for some strange reason things do not work out with the one girlfriend, I will go from the one girlfriend to one bottle of Jergens. And I will be good. But there is no fucking way that I could handle 2. And you know what? Let's bring this up. You know, my girlfriend and I are doing great. And we have a mutual respect for each other. We love each other. We listen to each other's opinions. We understand where the other one is coming from. We may disagree,
Oh,
but we do it like mature adults
wow.
where we
'Cause
discuss
that's what
the
you
disagreement.
are. Adults.
Oh my God.
Carla's online and added a post, but can't even come in here and say hi. Asshole.
I didn't send her the link to log in, but she did say
Oh.
keep her family and your thoughts and prayers, because if I'm guessing this right, then I'm suspecting that her mom took a turn.
Oh, fuck. I take back the
So-
asshole comment.
I'm hoping that everybody does go ahead and keep Carla's mom and their family in your prayers, especially tonight. And if something does happen, you know, be there to help her through. She ain't exactly had an easy time of it the last month and a half or so.
Nope.
And Carla is one of my best friends. I hate seeing her go through the pain, and I know it's going to hurt her a lot if she loses her mom. They did have limited amount of time, but you know, they really are good people, all of them. They have their problems. Some of them are a little weirder than others, but they are good people. Now, I'm going to end on this note. Everybody has watched the TV show on Netflix by now, I'm sure, called The Ranch, right?
Oh, I love the ranch.
Okay. So I like using the scale to determine the state of our nation right now. And they use quarterbacks on the ranch. So if everything was perfect in the country, in the state, everything, if everything was perfect, we would be at John Elway. Obviously. Up until the last presidential election, we were kind of hovering around Tim Tebow, which was, we were pretty bad off, but at least we had God on our side. After the last 2 elections, I hate to tell you, everybody, but we have gone down one step further, and we are at Colt Bennett.
Colt Bennett.
We are at Colt
Damn, we're
Bennett.
that low.
Oh, we're that low. Which is basically start drinking and pray for a DUI, because it's the only way you're going to fucking survive.
Oh, fuck. I thought you were going to use actual quarterbacks, because I was going to say we're like fucking Grossman level.
No, we're even below Grossman.
Yeah.
We're below Cutler.
Colt Bennett. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're there.
We're at Colt Bennett.
Oh, we're below Cutler. Fuck.
We're below Jay Cutler. We are bad.
Yeah, we were real bad, but I mean,
If you want me to find an actual
Colt Bennett, okay. No, you're good. I know Colt Bennett, and he was bad.
I'll look up the worst NFL quarterback in history, and I'll find that one.
Oh, fuck. We probably never even heard of him then. Unless he was made fun of a lot.
Oh my God! No,
bet
there's
he
some
played
bad
for the
ones
Cowboys.
here. There's some real bad ones here. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, we're below Joey Harrington. We're below Nick
Neither one of
Horse.
them.
We're below Andrew Walter. Oh, yeah. Yep, we're below David Klinger. Hi, Becky.
Hey, Becky.
Yeah, we're definitely below Frank Tripucka. Oh, man, Matt Leinart. Arizona Cardinals, Houston, Texas, Oakland Raiders.
Oh.
Below him. Heath Schuler, we're below him. I'm looking.
Say, I only know Matt Schuler.
Ackley Smith, we're below him for the Bengals.
Yeah.
We're below Jamarcus Russell.
God damn, we really are Cole Bennett low.
Hey, here we might have an actual NFL quarterback that might make it. Ryan Leaf. San Diego Chargers,
Ryan
Tampa Bay
Leaf.
Buccaneers, Dallas Cowboys, Seattle Seahawks. 4-win, 17-loss record.
I knew he had to be a Cowboy. I didn't realize he was all over the other fucking teams, too.
Ryan Leaf. Actually,
Ryan
I think
Leaf.
that's even an improvement. I think we are at Colt Bennett.
We are at Colt Bennett. God
We're
damn it.
at Colt Bennett. If you do not understand the reference, everybody, please go back, get on your Netflix account, and start from episode 1, season 1, and watch The Ranch.
It's a great show.
It is a
Sam
phenomenal
Elliott
show.
is a goddamn god.
Mhm.
I swear to God, he's a vampire. Doesn't age.
No, we don't.
Well,
Maybe he's got
like
a picture in
he's
his
been the
closet.
same age for everything.
Maybe he's got a picture in his closet that ages
Swear.
for him.
And maybe that's what it is. Maybe.
Yeah, kind of a Dorian Gray type deal.
But he ages like a fucking fine bourbon.
Yes,
or
he
whiskey.
does. You've got to give up red meat. Pass. You got to slow down on your drinking. Try again. What do you do to relieve stress? Eat steak and drink whiskey. Great way to do it.
I like the episode where Colt comes down and he's wearing those fucking Uggs.
Oh
What
God.
the hell you got on your feet? They're boots.
No, that was the
Colt
first
Uggs.
episode.
And then later on in the end of the end of the show, you see his dad wearing the fucking same boots, or he's wearing the boots.
What
He's
the
sitting by
fuck's
TV
on
in the
your
fire.
feet?
He's like,
A trip fell in them.
you were right. They are comfy.
Or when he was getting ready to go in for the
They're ugly,
surgery.
but they're comfy.
When he was getting ready to go in for the surgery and everything, the angiogram.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show me the tit on an almond. That is probably one of my
teeth
favorite.
on an almond.
When he was getting ready to go in when Sam Elliott was getting
What
ready to
the
go in
hell
for the
is
surgery.
this?
I've updated my will. I want to be buried with my Winchester 30-30 and my Uggs. Like, what the fuck? He really did like them. Oh my God, man! No, I have seen some funny
it's a great
shit
show.
over the years. It really, that show is hilarious all the way through. It wasn't as much fun when Danny Masterson
Really
got in
pissed me
trouble.
off. Yeah,
When
that's
they
what
got
pissed me
rid of
off when they killed
Rooster.
Rooster. Well, he
But
got rid of himself doing all that stupid shit.
But they did make up for it later. Luke did grow into something a little better, and they made up for it. Not all the way, but they did
Yeah.
make up for it. But no, Rooster was so much better.
Yeah, he came into his own character pretty well.
Yeah. And I mean, how give me a better way to introduce a member of the Bennett family than for him to be falling out of a cop car drunk.
And then I really like his whole PTSD angle, the way they worked it in and everything.
Yeah. Don't fucking
and how he
touch
was all
me.
fucked up. So I mean, it worked out. Yeah.
And I got to relate to it because a lot of times
So
if I'm really fucked up, my PTSD will flare up. But yeah, I absolutely love the show. And I have to admit that right now, when I look at our country, I look at the state of Illinois, I look at everything around us, we are at Colt Bennett bad. Damn, it's snowing again, Becky?
Yeah.
Really? How bad?
Where is she?
Becky is on the road doing something, I'm sure. So.
No, I'm talking, is she in Illinois or?
Oh, she is in Illinois, yes. Not bad. Maybe it'll pick up and snow me in tomorrow so I don't have to go to work.
I don't think it's doing anything here.
No, she says she's in Rochester feeding horses.
Oh, well, yeah, I don't think it's doing anything here yet.
So we've started touching on things, and I'm going to do a lot better research for our next one. Hopefully Sage is going to be my co-host for this. This is going to be news and opinion. And what I'm going to do for the research of this show, so to fill everybody in before we sign it off for the night, is I'm going to start picking 2 state, 2 national issues for us to hit on every week. This is going to be a weekly show for a while. We're going to see how it goes. Sage and I are going to discuss it. We are a call-in show. You can call in and be a part of this program and state your opinion, and we're going to listen to it. And if I think your opinion is really bad, I'm going to tell you that opinion was Colt Bennett bad. But we're going to.
I'm going to have to give me one of those bells. I can't keep just squeezing my chicken. Or maybe my chicken, your bell. Whichever.
Yeah, I mean, you keep choking that chicken. I mean, we have local issues that are coming up now, like the Springfield mayor discussing plans for a new casino.
The fuck? Oh, well, I mean, we could probably use the revenue, to be honest.
In all honesty, probably. But is it going to be a big boost? Or is it going to be shot in the nuts?
I know the school district could probably use it, which is what a lot of the revenue will go to. Other than that, I don't know.
The beauty with YouTube is I can get away with a little bit more.
But I know a lot of...
And we've also got Jeff Bezos, of all people, warning consumers about an upcoming recession. Really? There's an upcoming recession? What the fuck are we in now?
I just read, too, that he's going to be giving away some of his money soon.
Oh, good for him. I'm not getting any
I've read that he's going to be giving away to, like... No, he's going to randomly select all sorts of people, and he's going to give away millions of dollars. It kind of makes me want to listen to his song, the Jeffrey Bezos song or whatever the fuck it's called.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, this song's going to have a.
Figure
or
out how I
this
can get
show-
my hands on some of that money.
This show's got a little bit of a good background too. I think you might like, because I've got the perfect song that fits it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. Because it's going to hit you every week like a twister. This has been the news show, News and Opinion. Sage, you got any final thoughts?
No, this is a brand new show. Can't wait to see where it goes from here. We touched on a lot of interesting topics tonight, and we went out to left field, back to right field, and now here we are hitting home runs out of the park. So I guess we'll see where this journey takes us, and stay tuned. It's going to get interesting.
Well, hopefully some people will listen to us and get us out of Colt Bennett bad.
Oh, yeah, no shit.
I mean, that would be great. No more Colt Bennett bad.
Yeah. Colt Bennett bad is not good.
Colt Bennett bad
Get us into
means,
Sam Elliott good.
yeah. Colt Bennett bad is the quarterback showing up for tryouts, carrying a cup of pee and dumps it on the assistant line coach. That's Colt Bennett bad because he was drunk. Coach had it
Real
out
drunk.
for me since day one. Probably because I banged his daughter on day 3. Dude, that's Colt Bennett bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
All right, everyone. We'll see if Tyler wants
Had
to
to give me
join
some
in with
Uggs.
us. You're going to get some Uggs?
Yeah, got to give me some Uggs if we're going to do this proper and right. And some whiskey.
Yes. Dude, I swear to God, if you get Uggs, I want to see you wearing them because I'm going to say it. What the fuck's on your feet?
I'm definitely going to look into getting me some Uggs.
They're lady shoes.
Hey, don't knock them till you try them.
Yeah, well, Tom Brady gets away with a lot of shit. Here lies Sage Ramsey. Next time I'll get it right. He died wearing lady shoes. Oh, Becky says, true Uggs, you don't wear socks.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds like a house slipper. So this has been News and Opinion with TJ and Sage. Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Share the show. Let's get it out there and see if we can make it grow. We're not going to promote this a whole lot. We'll say something on Mayhem about it tomorrow night that we started it. But I want to see if this is going to grow grassroots. We're going to do it strictly on YouTube. That's right. And we're going to do it strictly on YouTube to see if we can make it grow. If it grows and does well, then I'll add it to a lineup on Mayhem and we'll build it from there on Mayhem's Facebook page. But I want to see if it's going to grow. So thank you, everybody. Spread the word. Get it out there. Send it to your friends. And have people tune in and see what it's about. We're not going conservative. We're not going liberal. What we are promoting is 2 words that the government has forgotten about. Common sense. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Good night.